you want to challenge anybody? Or
You can try and get Karun Nair.
it was K. Gautam who had challenged you. Do you have a message for him?
So he can't become captain of any team soon because he doesn't know too many laws.
Welcome, Karun. Have you ever been interested in exploring the laws of the game, trying to figure out different scenarios, what the law says, and all that?
I won't say I've been interested in it, but I've been being captain on few occasions. You need to know most of the laws and most of the important laws. You need to be in your mind so that you can use it to your advantage when your team is in a tight situation or when the team requires that law, or whenever the situation arises. So, being a captain, you have to be certain about certain laws. But I hope I can get most of your trick questions in.
What is one unforgettable moment in your journey, or something that you have seen?
The only time something happened, like something controversial happened, was one of these games against Hyderabad, the T20 game against Hyderabad, when one of their players stepped on the boundary rope but didn't say it was a 4. We just continued playing, and it was a live game.
Okay.
So at the end of our innings, our captain was Vinay Kumar, and he made sure that we got those 2 runs added to our score, because it was a live game, and the fielder never told the umpire that he had touched the rope, or the umpire also just let it go, or just they missed it in the heat of the moment and everything. So 2 runs got added, and then we won by 2 runs, and there was this huge controversy after the match where their team were quite livid with it, because the umpires didn't do it at the time, and they did it after the innings break. So but yeah, that is the only instance, I think, where a law came in, and I think there must have been a law where they had the provision of adding those 2 runs, because they hadn't seen it.
Yeah, there is indeed a law that says that the umpires and scorers after the innings can actually reconcile and figure out what the correct score is. So that's a very interesting incident as well, as you mentioned. So things like these are the kind of scenarios that we'll be discussing in this quiz. Ready for the challenge? So the first question: in Test cricket or a multi-day format cricket, who has the authority to choose the ball for each innings? Choose the ball from the supply that the home cricket board gives. Is it captain of the batting side? Is it captain of the fielding side? Is it the umpires? Or is it the match referee?
The captain of the fielding side, or whoever's fielding in that particular innings, gets the option of choosing the ball. That's what I think, at least, and it doesn't have to be the captain. One of the members from the fielding side is what I know.
Yeah, that is it.
Then the captain doesn't go. It's the fast bowler or the spinner that goes.
That is indeed right. The fielding team captain has the authority, or if he chooses to send someone out, basically if the captain sends out somebody else, he can go and choose the balls as well. So off the mark with a single.
Yeah, when I wasn't captain also, I used to go choose the ball, because everyone felt that I chose the best ball. The bowlers were just happy with me selecting the ball, because they found that the balls were very good whenever I selected it.
Nice, interesting.
All the ball did more when I selected, or something like that.
Okay. So
for me to select it.
Okay, so you're the lucky charm for the Karnataka bowlers then. So off the mark with a single. On to the second question now. A batsman hits the ball straight back to the bowler. The bowler takes the catch cleanly and then runs out the non-striker who is out of his crease, because the non-striker is the stronger batsman. Who is out? Option A. Okay, you can. 4 options. You want me to give you the options, or do you want to?
Yeah. No, give me the options.
Okay. Option A is striker is out caught. Option B is non-striker is out run out. Option C is the bowling team can decide which batsman is out. Option D, both batsmen are out.
The striker is out because that happened first.
That's right. The striker is out because not just because it happened first, but whatever modes of dismissals follow caught will take precedence, except if it is bowled. So in the order of precedence, bowled comes first and then caught comes. So even if a catch is taken after a run out, for example, catch will take precedence. So anyway, 2 out of 2. Well done. Off the mark with a couple then. You're known for big scores. Let's see how big you can go. Third question then. Easy one again. A batsman pulls the ball and it accidentally gets stuck in the short leg fielder's helmet. The fielding team appeals. What will the umpire decide? Option A, batsman is out, caught. Option B, batsman is not out. Option C, batsman is not out and the batting team gets 5 runs penalty because the ball hit the fielding team helmet. 3 options.
I think with the present rules, I think the batsman should be out.
That is indeed right.
Right now the rules have changed because before if it hit the helmet it wasn't out. Now it's changed to if you hit the helmet and then catch it's out. So I think if it gets stuck it's equal to hitting the helmet and getting out.
That is indeed right. If it gets accidentally stuck in a fielder's protective helmet or protective equipment, the batsman is out. Have you ever been dismissed like that, or have you ever taken a catch like that? Has it ever happened?
Not really. I haven't got out or taken a catch like that. Bad for the batsman that gets out like that.
I know. All right. Fourth question then. 3 out of 3 for you so far. A batsman hits the ball back to the bowler. The bowler tries to run the striker out and throws the ball back. But he ends up throwing it at the batsman's body. To protect himself, the striker shows his bat and it goes off the bat straight over the boundary. What happens? Option A, batsman gets 6 runs. Option B, batsman is given out obstructing the field. Option C, the batsman gets 4 runs. Option D, he is not out and he gets no runs.
This is not an easy question.
You can use a lifeline.
I don't know.
I'm sure you can crack it.
I'll use a lifeline. Let's see.
Okay, is it 6 runs or is it 4 runs?
Just where I was confused. I'm sure it should be 6 runs. I don't know how it can be 4 runs if it went over the rope.
Okay, I'll explain the scenario again. When the batsman hits the ball to the bowler, it obviously pitches. Because if it doesn't pitch, he'll be out caught. So in this scenario, is it 6 or 4?
Oh, it's 4 then. It's 4.
Yeah, it is 4. It is 4 runs because obviously it pitched and also because he was protecting himself, so he's not out obstructing the field and he can get the overthrow runs. So 4 out of 4 for you. You started with the boundary and we are into the medium section now. 5th question. Ready? On day 2 of a Ranji Trophy match, a player from one team gets called up to the Indian side. His team's captain wants a change in the playing 11. Is he allowed to change? Options coming up. Option A, no. The 11 cannot be changed after the toss. Option B, yes, he can make the change himself. Option C, yes, he can change, but only after consulting the match referee. Option D, yes, he can change only if the opposition captain agrees.
I would go with D only if the opposition captain agrees. And I also think the match referee also has to. I'm sure the match referee will agree if the captain agrees because a certain player from a certain team has gone to represent the country and I think it happened with Karnataka where I think Manish had to go from a game in Punjab, and another player was brought in the
Okay.
11.
Okay. That is indeed right. Option D is right. Only if the opposition captain agrees, and of course, as you said, if the opposition captain agrees, the match referee should not have a problem. So, option D is right, and it, as you said, it happened in one of these Karnataka games, and also in this year's Ranji Trophy match between Delhi and Andhra, when Navdeep Saini was called up in the middle of a match.
Okay.
Interestingly, it is not just to do with scenarios like this. At any point of the match, if say a fielder is injured or something like that, also even in this scenario, if the opposition captain agrees, the player can be changed. That has happened in an Andhra versus Bengal match in the last year's Ranji Trophy season. So maybe you can use it to your advantage next time. Try and if someone is injured on say.
Hopefully many more of our teammates go on to play for the country.
Yeah. So 6 questions then, 5 out of 5 so far for you with 1 lifeline down. This might be a bit tricky. Okay, listen to it carefully. A team needs 2 runs to win in the final ball of a test match with 8 wickets in hand. Last ball of a test match, day 5, last ball. Team needs 2 runs to win. The batsman hits it to the deep and finishes 1 run, but while coming back for a second run, he is run out. What is the result of this test match? Option A, draw. Option B, tie. Option C, the team which has lost fewer wickets in the match wins. If you want me to repeat it, do you want me to repeat it? Are you sure?
Pretty sure it should be a tie, because if he's got run out on, if it's 2 runs to win, you said, right?
2 runs to win with 8 wickets. 2 runs to win with 8 wickets in hand.
That is the trick. Then it's a draw.
It is indeed a draw. Why though? Can you explain it?
Because there's no more. They have 7 wickets remaining, but there's no time or overs to go. So still need 1 run to win. And I think, am I right or?
You're right. It is indeed a draw.
It would have been tie only if they lost the wicket and they had no more wickets remaining, right?
Absolutely right. This actually happened in an India versus West Indies match in 2011, if I'm right. 11 or 13, I'm not sure. R. Ashwin was the batsman. India had 2 wickets in hand. Ashwin hit it to the deep in a Mumbai test, if I'm right. Ashwin hit it to the deep and was run out in the second run. Scores were level, but because India had a wicket in hand, it was a draw and not a tie. So it's an interesting scenario that. So 6 out of 6 for you. 7th question, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. A ball goes straight up in the air after the batsman gets a top edge. It goes straight up over his head. The batsmen try for a quick single. The ball falls on the pitch and rolls towards the stumps at the striker's end. The non-striker who is running towards the striker's end sees this and hits it away. He deflects it from hitting the stumps. What happens? Option A, the striker is out obstructing the field. Option B, the non-striker is out obstructing the field. Option C, the non-striker is out, hit the ball twice. Option D, nobody is out. The batsmen are allowed to protect their wicket.
If it's going onto the stump, someone is out for sure.
Okay.
But I think since the non-striker is doing it, I'm sure the non-striker should be deemed out, because if the striker was doing it, the striker would be out. But this time the non-striker is obstructing the ball from going and hitting the stump, which should make the striker out, I know, but the non-striker is committing the offense, I think so. I don't think this would have ever happened in a game. But
I can't recollect any.
Non-striker should be out to If it makes sense, I don't know.
Is he out obstructing the field or is he out hit the ball twice?
He's out obstructing the field.
Obviously. Option B, non-striker is out obstructing the field is right. Hit the ball twice doesn't come into the picture. Well done. 7 out of 7 for you. The interesting twist in this scenario is that this is not a part of the question, but just a discussion, just another question which I had asked other players. So an interesting scenario. For example, if a batsman hits the ball in the air and the ball goes to a fielder, and the non-striker actually obstructs the fielder from taking the catch, and the fielder drops the catch. In this scenario, it is the striker who is out, not the non-striker. So weird scenarios, all these. 7 out of 7 for you so far. First one in the tough section. A batsman pads a ball. He pads a ball without offering a shot. The ball rolls to the deep, and for some reason, the batsmen start to run. They try to run 2 runs, but while on the second run, the fielder hits a direct hit with the batsman out of his crease, and the fielding team appeals. In this scenario, what happens? Option A, the batsman is given a run out. Option B, batsman is not out. The ball becomes dead after they run 1 run. Option C, the batsman is given not out, and a penalty of 5 runs is awarded to the fielding team. 3 options.
3 options.
Yeah, 3 options.
Option B only. The ball is dead.
That is indeed right. You seem to have got it pretty easily. Ball is indeed right. So even if he's run out, you didn't want to.
The ball is dead as soon as he doesn't offer the shot. The ball is dead.
Okay. You're right there. Option B is right. The ball becomes dead when they complete 1 run. So that is the scenario over there. So I'm guessing that within the first run, the batsmen are liable to be run out. So the ball becomes dead after they complete 1 run. So that is the rule. So well done. I thought it was
but most batsmen don't run if they don't offer a shot. They just immediately,
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever happened where they run and then the bowlers or the fielders try for the direction, because they just don't run after they don't. Because most batsmen know when they offer a shot or not offer a shot.
That's right. So batsmen hardly run, but there are like some scenarios where a batsman might think that he has offered a shot, the umpire might think that the batsman has not offered a shot and all that. So this rule is for that scenario. So ball becomes dead after the completion of 1 run. So well done, 8 out of 8 for you. Just 2 more. Let's see if you can follow Abhimanyu Mithun in getting 10 out of 10. You have already crossed K. Gautam, who had got 7. It was K. Gautam who had challenged you. Do you have a message for him?
I'm sure he can't become captain of any team soon because he doesn't know too many laws. He's good at being the bowler only. I'm sorry, Baji, but he failed.
Anyway, 9th question. 2 lifelines, so you can just use the lifelines if you want. So 9th question. The ball hits the inside edge and rolls along the ground towards the stumps. To protect his wicket, the batsman hits the ball before it goes to the stumps. The ball, however, flies straight to the fielder at point, and the fielding team appeals. What will the umpire decide? So option A, the batsman is given out caught. Option B, the batsman is given out hit the ball twice. Option C, the batsman is given not out. Option D, the batsman is given out obstructing the field.
I'll use a lifeline.
All right. So is it option C, not out, or is it option A, out caught?
I think it is option C, not out.
Option C, not out is right. Why did you want a lifeline? Which were the options you were confused about?
I was not confused. I just wanted to use the lifeline.
All right.
I just wanted to see if if you which options will you leave out for me?
I generally decide
Make it tough
on,
for me.
yeah, I think it's between out caught and not out. But the rule says that since it has pitched once, so batsman can be out caught only if it doesn't pitch even once. So 9 out of 9, 10th one coming up. This one could be tricky. Let's see. Last question. Let's see if we can make it 10 out of 10. There is a mix-up between the striker and the non-striker when they are going for a single. And both of them are stranded exactly at the middle of the pitch when the bails are taken off from the bowler's end. Who is out? Option A, striker. Option B, non-striker. Option C, batting team decides who is out. Option D, fielding team decides who is out.
This is a tough one.
Time for a
They're
lifeline. Exactly at the middle. Exactly at the middle.
Why don't I just use a lifeline and you minus out two answers? Let's see.
Okay. Is it striker or non-striker? Making it tough for you. It obviously can't be batting team decides and fielding team decides. So, is it striker or non-striker?
Was it the striker who played the ball?
Yeah, it's the striker who played the ball. He is running towards the non-striker's end. Non-striker is running towards the striker's end. They're bang in the middle of the pitch. And the bowler's end, the stumps are taken off. Let's make it interesting. Do you want to call up someone and ask this question and let's see?
I don't think anyone will know this. This is just a guess, I think. This is going to be a guess. I think the non-striker should be out because he's taken it out on the bowler's end.
That is indeed right. Why did you think it was non-striker? Because it happens at the bowler's end?
Because it happens bowler there in the middle. The guy on this side should be out. I'm guessing. I don't know.
That's indeed right. It is
just a complete guess. Guess.
It's a complete guess, but your explanation is also almost 100% right, because the law says that if they are right in the middle, whoever was closest to that particular end before they came to the middle, that person will be out. So in this case, it is the non-striker who was actually closer to the bowler's end. So that's the trick part over there, and you've got it right. Well done, 10 out of 10. I think you're only the third person to get 10 out of 10 for this quiz. You said that players might do not know too many things about the laws, but you've cracked it all completely. So what's the trick?
I'm very good when I'm given an option.
All right then.
Who was the third person who got everything right?
Who got 10 out of 10? Abhimanyu Mithun was one. Abhinav Mukund was the second person to get 10 out of 10, and you're the third so far till who I've interviewed. So you're joining the elite club. So well done.
Who are the not so smart people?
So far the lowest is actually K. Gautam with 7. And before I let you go,
thank you so much.
Just a quick question for you. If you could change one of these laws, what would it be? Anything that comes to your mind?
If I could change, what law I could change? I don't think any laws should be changed. It's perfect the way it is. Every year there seems to be new laws coming in that help the cricketers and the umpires. This year we had limited DRS coming in domestic cricket, which obviously helps the teams and also the umpires from making really bad decisions, because then it really affects the team that is facing that bad decision. So every year the laws are being changed, which is for the good of the game and for helping the teams and the players and the captains and the umpires also this year. So I'm sure I wouldn't want to change anything, and there are rule makers to change and not change the laws. But if you were to ask me, I don't think there's any law that needs to be changed at the moment, at least.
Interesting. We've already got a lot of these changes coming in, so it's fair enough that you don't want further changes. Finally, do you want to challenge someone, your teammates or anyone for that matter?
Who do I want to challenge? Who's not so smart enough? Let me think. I think probably you can do with R. Samath.
Okay.
Challenge R. Samath. Let's see if we can get 10 out of 10 like me.
10 out of 10 like you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot once again. Stay safe. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, Tata. You too.